In the last lecture, we created the two sections, as in the two div tags where the game area and the rules area will be created. So let's fill up this particular area, the tick area, in this lecture. So we've come to a very important part of our code, the canvas part. Canvas is pretty much like a drawing canvas that artists use in the offline world. It's a blank space on which you can draw, or in this case, the browser draws. So that's the simplest definition of it. Since in our game area, we are essentially drawing the drawing the X's and O's, we'll be using the canvas to do it. Okay, so each of these are canvases, and on these canvases, the browser draws these X's and O's. So we'll be creating these 9 canvases in this lecture. So you can create a canvas by using a canvas tag like this. It's a tag with a start and an end tag. So with this tag, you can create a simple canvas. So every canvas is a separate drawing canvas with the specified width and height. Okay, so each of these canvases are separate, and this game has 9 different canvases. Usually canvases are in rectangle shape, but in this case, since we gave the same width and height, which is 100 cross 100 in dimensions, it's square in shape. We're also going to give each of these canvases unique IDs, like canvas 1, canvas 2, up till canvas 9, which this one is canvas 9, because that way we can easily reference each of these canvases, so each of these canvases can be drawn on separately. Okay? And finally, we are going to have 3 rows like this, 3 rows, with each row having 3 different canvases. So we're going to break up after each row by using the break tag. I'll explain each of these as I code on, so let's get to that. Let's create the first canvas. So canvas ID is equal to canvas 1, and the width and height are going to be 100 pixels by 100 pixels. Okay, so I'm not giving px to indicate pixels here, because as soon as you give 100, the browser would know it's 100 pixels. So that's the first canvas. Let me create the other canvas by copying and pasting to save time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have 9 canvases, each with 100 pixels and 100 pixels. So let me change the IDs. Okay, that's done. And the height and width are the same. So I need to break them up. To break up these canvases, I need to use the break tag. So HTML has a separate break tag called the BR tag. So by using the BR tag in the third canvas, I'll be breaking up the first 3 canvases, and the next 3 canvases would come up in the next row. Okay, so after the 6th canvas, I'll create another break tag. So break tag, as you can see, is an empty tag. It does not have an end tag like h1 element has, or like canvas has. So I'm using a slash after the BR. Okay. So as you can see, canvas has a start and end tag, but we're not creating anything in here. Well, it's not necessary because most browsers accept canvas. But for example, if one of your users are using a browser that does not play canvas elements, then you can, give an error message like, sorry, your browser does not accept canvas. But right now we don't need one of those because most modern browsers accept canvas. So let's just leave that out and let's just keep everything simple. So, and let me create spacings between these 3 rows. Okay. So now that we've finished the canvases, we're only left with the button. The new game button, which will load the new game whenever it's clicked. So this particular button right here. Okay. So let's create that button now. We'll be using the button tag for that, and it'll come under this div section as well as in the tick section. So let's create a base here, and then let's use the button tag and give it an ID of new. And between this, we're going to give it a text called new game. Okay. Finally, we're going to center the button This could also be done with the CSS properties that we'll look at later on, but I wanted to show you how to do the same in a different way right here in HTML. So let's use the center tag for that. So let's use the center tag. Take the end tag and put it here. So the center tag is wrapping up this button tag, so the button would be centered in the page. Okay, so let's save this. Let's look at the output screen. Great, so we have our new game button tag, and none of the canvases are visible right now. Let's see, but I can actually show you where they are. See, this is the first canvas. It's selecting. Okay, when I select this in the live screen, I can see the second canvas. You can only see those things in the live screen because brackets is awesome, but the thing is, these canvases are actually invisible right now because we haven't created borders for them or background colors for them. So right now they're invisible, but we can correct that when we get to the CSS section. So let's look at that later on. And in the next section, we can finally finish the rules area. So I'll see you there.